5789 State Street in Saginaw. And a good morning. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And today we're going to talk about positive results in a downtown environment, forever and best known as Pride. And I will never let them forget that because they have a new director coming up. So with us this morning, first of all, we welcome the soon-to-be new director of Pride, and she is Anne Marie Batkowski. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. And actually, that's Anne Marie Batkowski Sullivan.
That's right. You do.
As of about 3 weeks ago. Yep. So.
Is that well? Congratulations.
Thank you.
And also with us, the current director, soon to be retired, and she is Jeannie Conger. Good morning, Jeannie.
Good morning, Art. Hi, Anne Marie.
Good morning, Jeannie.
Okay, so I want to start with Jeannie because Jeannie has run Pride now for how long?
Just shy of 30 years.
Just shy of how many?
30 years. 30.
Oh, you can't quit now. Oh, yeah, you can.
She'll make it to her 30th. It's this summer?
Yeah. So you are hanging around, so there's an overlap of executives, right?
Yeah, we do so many things in the community, but so many events. And being that I've basically worked alone in the office but had volunteers, it's going to be hard. I grew with the events, and I just want to make sure that Anne Marie's comfortable because she's going to have to be juggling 8 events during the year, plus putting banners up and down, and when Christmas comes around, getting the Christmas lights up. A lot of these things at the city, that we do in the city that I don't think the average people know that's coming out of our office.
Well, you'll be glad to know she is wearing the proper apparel. She has a Friday Night Live shirt on.
Oh, good for you. Good. I'm glad. Yeah.
So when you look back, Jeannie, at your years at Pride, decades really, what are you most proud of?
I just think I find it interesting that people say, "Oh, look at what you've built and accomplished and everything," and it kind of I don't think amuses me is the right word, but it kind of surprises me maybe because I didn't do any of this alone. There's hundreds of volunteers, and we have a great board of directors that, they all jump in and we all work these events and we make these things happen for the city of Saginaw. And so that I find that interesting. But anyways, I just am proud of our community. I'm proud of the people who stand up and get things done. I'm proud of the things that I've seen change in downtown. When I started there, it was kind of a scary place. It was desolate. We lost a lot of business to the malls. Things changed a lot, and people were afraid to come to downtown. Although there was no crime, they were afraid.
I was going to point that out, that it was interesting at that time. You talk to people who didn't live in Saginaw. Oh, I'm not going downtown. Oh, no. And if you looked at a crime map, there was very little, if any, crime downtown. Yeah, there were certain neighborhoods outside the downtown district, but downtown was one of the safest places in the world.
It was.
And still is.
Mm-hmm. But, people had this image, and we needed to change that image. And I think we have been successful in doing that. Not only us, but Saginaw Spirit, bringing people downtown, the people at the Temple Theater, all of us working what we do and bringing all these people downtown was just amazing to see. Well, they came and they survived, and they came back and they brought friends with them.
Yep. So, Anne Marie, how'd you get involved?
So I've been on the board for the last few years. I believe it's my 3rd year on the board as a volunteer, and I've volunteered at some events. And when I found out that the Jeannie was retiring, I threw my hat in the ring to take some very big shoes to fill. And they chose me. I'm very proud of that. I have lived in Saginaw County my entire life, and it's something I'm very, very passionate about is Saginaw.
it is going to be interesting, because Jeannie's been the face of it for so long. So long. And now you will have to assume that role.
Yes, and I'm not looking to replace Jeannie, although I will, introduce myself as the new Jeannie Conger when I'm meeting new people. I feel like I'm
That might not.
Go ahead.
That might not be a smart thing, Anne Marie.
Yep, I've done this before in former roles where I replace, not replace. I come in after the best, and so yes, big shoes to fill. But I'm excited about the opportunity. I'm passionate about Saginaw. I've been a volunteer in many different facets for a lot of organizations in our community. And so my closest friends call me the unofficial mayor of Saginaw. I always seem to know what's going on. They are always asking me what's going on. And I feel like I'm one of the pulse of Saginaw.
So Jeannie, you mentioned all of the things you're involved in, and it still takes volunteers, doesn't it?
It sure does. It sure does, and it takes lots of volunteers. And and we've talked about this before, Art, and I know you know this too and agree with it. It seems like the people in Saginaw, when you need something, they come forward.
Oh, yeah.
They make things happen, and I think we're very unique in that way.
I think we had, for the Spirit, for example, the Memorial Cup, I think the number was somewhere around 850 volunteers.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
Jeannie and I were both volunteering for the Memorial Cup.
Yeah,
so
so
it does. Yes, you were. It takes a lot of volunteers to do those kinds of things. And same thing with our events. So we have so many different events and hundreds and hundreds of volunteers.
Yeah, we'll talk about the events later on. We want to. Jeannie is on her way someplace, so we don't want to hold her up too long. So as you look back, Jeannie, at the development of Pride, how has the organization grown over the years?
Well, when we started out, or at least when I started out, I wasn't the first director. I started in somewhere around 1995. And when I started out, the office had been vacant for a year. And the board was kind of running Pride. And then they hired me, and I came in. And when I started, we had, there's a couple things. We had the DSA was part of our organization, and also the farmers market. And so we were kind of working with those things, plus our direction was to help retain the business that was still there and encourage new business to invest. And I can't tell you what year it was, but when the city formed or added Saginaw Future, and they took those roles of business development and retention on, we kind of morphed into the, I guess you would say, more the quality of life aspect, and we did things, the events, and encouraging people to come back downtown and invest. And so all these different groups that work together to accomplish the same thing with revitalizing downtown. And so, I saw us grow into more of this event thing. That's why we've partnered with so many different organizations, because when they wanted to do something like Friends of Hoyt Park wanted to dedicate the warming house that they renewed or renovated. And so we do Bringing Back the Ice with them. And when we, Saginaw Spirit, we do a partnership with them doing Ice Blast and just all these different things. So that's kind of where our role changed in the beautification and the quality of life and bringing people back downtown through the things that we were doing.
Well, you were like a double-edged sword in a way. You not only helped run the events and create the events, but the other side of it is you were the big promotional tool for the events.
Right, right. In fact, I've even heard city manager call us a marketing arm for the city of Saginaw.
Yeah, no, it's true though. But there's a lot of truth in that. Yeah, yeah. And even though we're not actually an entity of the city, we ourselves is supporting. Yeah.
We support ourselves, but everything we do is for the city of Saginaw.
Well, Jeannie, I'm going to let you go because you're on the phone, but we've appreciated you over the years, and we will keep in touch. You're not disappearing.
Well, I hope so. I hope
I don't
so.
think Anne Marie's going to let you disappear anyway. So
No, not at all. She's going to be our number one volunteer.
I'm going to make sure that they still contact you to judge our events and the things that you've done for us.
Yeah.
And WSDW has always been a good supporter of our parades. You know, when you come with your rig and you've
we'll continue to
play
do
all
that.
the appropriate music.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know, it's all part of being a good citizen. What you do, what Anne Marie does, what others do. I mean, that's what citizenship is all about. You know, being a part of a community, not just living there.
Correct.
All right, kid, take care of yourself. We'll talk to you in the near future.
Okay. See you soon.
Take care. Bye-bye, Jeannie.
Okay. Bye-bye.
And with us, Anne Marie Sullivan will stick around, and we'll talk about some of the events and some of the things coming up and her future with the organization and the organization's future, for that matter. Krizak's House, family restaurant, best place to go for your authentic home-cooked foods with a European flair at reasonable prices. Now's the time to think about getting together with friends and family for lunch or dinner, as well as events coming up soon. Graduations, confirmations, weddings, showers, anniversaries. Krizak's has an economical way for you to supply the food. Now, you can order what you want in Polish and American foods and then just pick it up at the restaurant ready to go. Or better yet, have your celebration right there at the restaurant. Don't forget, at a moment's notice, Krizak's can help. Call 989-894-5531, 894-5531. Krizak's House Family Restaurant, corner of Cass and Michigan, on Bay City's south side.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Ford.
All right, we're back with you in studio with me, Anne Marie Batkowski Sullivan. She is going to be the new director of Pride, positive results in a downtown environment, but I will forever call it Pride. You might as well get used to that, Anne Marie.
Okay, I can get used to it.
So let's talk about what's coming up in the not too distant future. I mean, it's not too early to talk about Friday Night Live, is it?
Right, yeah. I posted last night on social media our Friday Night Live concert lineup. We have lots of great entertainment coming up starting in July. July 11th is our kickoff 50th anniversary bash. We're going to have a Stevie Wonder tribute band. Wonder Love will be there, and a local artist, Pesky Kid, with Ben Champagne. He'll be our opening act.
What's the first date?
July 11th, Wonder Love, Stevie Wonder tribute.
And it's
every Friday.
Every Friday night for 6, right?
Correct. Yep. We're going to have our country music night the week after. That's a downtown hoedown. And then we have a Latin night, our Fiesta Grande. We have August 1st will be Riverfront Blues Night, and then we're going to have a 70s night after that, and then as usual and as always, we'll wrap it up with Motown Night.
And so what's there at Friday Night Live? People come down, bring their own chairs. You get thousands of people in that park.
Yep. Down at Morley Plaza, yep. It's a free event, right? So we don't charge anything for the music and the talent. We have food trucks down there. We have a kids area for children to play. We have, of course, the music and dancing. We have a dance floor for people to kick up their feet and dance. There's something for everybody, I would say, down there.
And volunteers, do you use them?
Yeah, of course we use them. Like we said earlier, Jeannie was, she's the lone person in the office, and now I'll be the lone person in the office, so we depend on our board and our volunteers for everything. So yeah, we'll have volunteers who will be selling raffle tickets. We have volunteers who help with the beverage tent, because there are beverages down there, adult and non-alcoholic beverages.
And then we should point out the the adult beverages is separated. There's
Correct.
a separate area for
Separate
them down
area,
by the river.
roped off. So it's for those 21 and older. We serve beer and wine, so we have volunteers doing that. And it's a fun event, and we would like to see more people come downtown.
Well, you only get so many in that park.
We'll make it work. We'll fit them in.
Fit them in, and you have. I mean, I think I've been down there when there's been 5,000 people down there.
Yeah, Motown Night especially, I know, and Latin Night. Those are
always a
big
big one.
events. So come early and get a seat.
So let's. Anything coming up before that?
Yeah, we have a week from tomorrow is our 50th anniversary fundraising
Yeah, we'll
event.
talk about that.
We're celebrating 50 years in a very groovy style, so it's a 70s theme party. You can wear a costume, or you don't have to. You can just come in your favorite shirt, be comfortable. It's at the Dow Event Center in their Red Room. We're going to have a DJ. Jack Luna is going to be our DJ. Angela Markle is going to teach us the hustle, how to hustle. So there'll be dinner, dancing, cocktails, silent auction. We're going to have a nice silent auction with lots and lots of things you can bid on, and trivia contests as well. So all things 70s.
Going to be fun.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I love to dance personally, so I'm looking forward to dancing.
And that's May 2nd.
May 2nd, a week from tomorrow, Friday night.
Tickets are how much, and where do you get them?
Tickets are $90 per person, $150 per couple, or if you have 7 friends that you want to bring along, or 7 strangers that you want to have sit at your table, a table is $500 for a table of 8. So it makes it a little bit more reasonable, about $62.50, I think.
It is $62.50.
So that's the way to go, is to get a table. And they can either email myself or Jeannie if you go on our website, which is prideinsaginaw.org, or Facebook, Positive Results, Downtown Saginaw. You can email us or call me, whatever. I'll get your money.
And what time is it going to run?
The event starts at 6 p.m. with cocktail hour. Dinner's at 7, dancing's at 8:30, and then until we fall down and we can't go anymore. That's when it ends.
And where?
The Dow Event Center in the Red Room.
At the Red Room,
Yep.
in the Dow Event Center.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, we also have a Memorial Day parade coming up, too, so we want to promote that as well. We're looking for people to do floats, but we're really looking for veterans to walk or to ride in
Right.
cars.
Buddy of mine's going to be Grand Marshal. Cedric Green.
Yeah, we're excited to have him. Every year.
Captain Cedric Green
Yes,
from the fire
of
department.
the fire department, yes. Every year we have this event, and we end at Veterans Memorial Plaza over there at Hoyt Park. So it's a wonderful way to give a tribute to our veterans and those serving actively now. So we
Parade
really
runs are down Washington.
Yep, it's a 1.5 mile walk right down Washington. We start right clear by the SVRC Marketplace, around there in that little corner there, and just go down Washington to Hoyt Park.
Time?
The time for that,
parade?
11 a.m. is when the parade will
Kicks off.
officially start. Yes, so we need good weather. It's looking good right now. And again, we just want more veterans to come down, not just to watch and wave the flags, but to actually walk. Or we'll have, bring a car, put a sticker on it, something. We want to see those veterans participate.
All right. We'll take a break, come back, and we'll have more with Anne Marie when we return.
Rocket Grab Plus.
We are back with you, and we have the newly appointed and future takeover director of Pride, Anne Marie Batkowski Sullivan. She recently got married 3 weeks ago. Is that as good as Pride?
Yes, I call it an era of love, love with personal relationship and love of community this year. So,
What is there? Now, you've always been here. I mean, you're a Saginaw girl, right?
yep, born and bred.
What is it about Saginaw people don't realize in terms of its goodness?
I think my answer has always been the people.
Yep, mine too.
100% the people. I don't know much else besides Saginaw because this is where I've lived my entire life. But the people that live here that support Saginaw are best to none. They have the same passion that you and I have.
And it's, well, it's why we do what we do in many ways.
Absolutely. For the people and with the people.
So we've talked about Friday Night Live and the Memorial Day Parade and all those things. What else is going on with Pride? Because you have to start planning for the fall and winter almost, don't you?
Yes, it's always planning and then event and then planning and then event. I know that we will start planning for our harvest in the harvest downtown, and with our and then holidays in the city is another one. Our Christmas parade will come up. But we also have the banners downtown right now that we are going to be putting up in the next week or two. And those are the high school banners from Saginaw United and SASA with the kids' pictures on there, the graduation pictures. So those will be going up soon. We just took down the holiday banners. We were a little late of getting those down, but those just came down. And so we'll put up the banners next.
Talk about the harvest thing because, at one time the farmers market was associated with Pride. And you no longer have that under your umbrella, do you?
Correct. That was a committee that Pride originally had, and then that broke off, and they formed their own 501(c), so they were all on their own. We still partner with them and help support them, but that's not our event anymore. But we do host harvest days, and I'm not sure what day that's on in the fall, but we have our mum sales that go on down there to help support holidays in the city.
Yeah, we should point out the farmers market is not part of SVRC either. It's
correct.
Just the space is there, but
right.
It's not part of SVRC.
Right. We all just promote it and partner with each other.
Which is fine.
It.
People, they don't need to separate it. I mean, if they think it's associated, fine.
But I am looking forward to partnering with them more and to see how we can make that farmers market grow.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
They got a beautiful space down there.
Beautiful space. The riverfront is becoming more and more beautiful. The Saginaw United High School adds a nice little spot to look at. So there's lots of possibilities down there.
So as the future executive director of Pride, where should we put the Bean Bunny?
Well, I saw a post the other day. Where is the Bean Bunny? Do you know?
It's in storage.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I would love it to go on the Community Foundation building. Let's put it on that, on top of there.
Morley Building. Yeah,
yes, the Morley Building.
That's an interesting idea. I never thought of that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's an interesting idea. I always thought, they ought to, the way they erect a billboard on a column, they ought to erect a column and put the Bean Bunny on top of it in the general vicinity of where it was.
Yeah.
Along 675 so you can see it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of people would like to see that as well.
It's just such an iconic landmark of Saginaw. It
is.
says Saginaw.
Yes. People that have visited our town and our community always recognize that as an icon. I wasn't even sure where it is in storage, so I think we should submit our suggestions on where we want it.
No, it's been talked about.
And I can't imagine it would fit in the area over there on Court Street, right?
No, in the park where the signs are?
Right. I don't think it would fit there.
It depends how you mount it, but I don't want it there. I want it
where it was.
I want it in the vicinity of where it was so you can see it on the highway.
Maybe Saginaw United would take it and put it on their building.
I think that was talked about, I think. That didn't work out.
Okay.
But it needs to be front and center.
It needs to be a welcoming sign to Saginaw,
to the city.
It needs to be
a pride project.
Okay, that would take some fundraising and some sponsors and some dollars. Give me a little bit of time. I'm in my job for 2 weeks now.
Well, so where you been?
What have I been doing? Right.
I kind of think that, if we made enough applications to grant organizations, there might be some money out there, but I don't know.
There could be, or
the problem is once you put it up, somebody has to pay to maintain it,
right?
The electric and all that stuff,
right? What about the community and the citizens putting together money, and they can each contribute $5? And how many people?
There you go. You're already in.
How many people in our community do we have? I don't even know what our population is.
It's an interesting question, though. I think we ought to talk to Charlie about putting one of our polls out on where should the Bean Bunny be.
Yes, I think that would be a great poll question. And then we'll take that data.
It says Pride.
It does.
It represents the city very well.
Yeah, for sure. I have a hat and a Bean Bunny shirt and wear it proudly.
Yeah. I also thought on top of the, the Dow Event Center might be a place, too, if they could put it up there. I don't know the roof ability, but
right.
Anything along 675 where people can see it coming and going.
Yeah, I agree.
Makes it worthwhile as far as I'm concerned.
What is the building that the chamber's in too?
That's the across the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we can work together, figure that out.
Well, they already have a lighted billboard sign up there, so I don't think they'll want to put another lighted sign up there.
Probably not.
We're scheming, folks. We're scheming. You can hear it.
Yeah, and my mind just goes keep the dollars. Where are the dollars?
Well, you have to, though. I mean, that's, we kid about that, but none of this happens without support.
Sponsors.
You've
Yeah.
got to have money.
Right. And I think on that level, right, again, we're a large community. We reach out to a lot of the donors over and over, the same ones over and over. And I know there are so many more businesses and organizations out there that we could be tapping into and asking for help.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to knocking on those doors.
But fortunately, we have some tremendous benefactors in this community.
Amazing benefactors.
Amazing
Again,
benefactors.
part of the reason why we do what we do is because of the love for Saginaw, and those are some of the greatest people.
Yep. Just look at Dick Garber and some of those
Yep, and
types.
Shaheen's and those family names.
Spence.
Yep.
You name it. I mean, Furlow. I mean, they're out there.
Yeah.
And then you have the Community Foundation.
Yeah, it's interesting that, like you mentioned, Spence. Used to work for Spence Brothers, and Herb Spence was a dear mentor for me, and that's why I really wanted to get involved in Saginaw, because I saw what he did for the
Excellent.
community. And so following in his footsteps as well, I've had a lot of fantastic people to follow after, and that's where my
He's
passion.
a good one, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
This community is blessed. It's had a lot of those folks.
Yes, but
Yeah.
a lot of those folks are getting older, so we need to find
Well,
the younger people
yeah.
that can kind of step up and do those same things.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
I would like to tap into that.
Well, it's interesting, though, and you mentioned the leadership leadership classes. Back when I first got here in the 70s and 80s, you'd be on a board of directors. You'd go to the next board of directors, you'd see the same people because it was just the same group of people rotating around the boards. When Leadership Saginaw came along, all of a sudden you had these 30-somethings in class learning to be community leaders. Nowadays, you don't find the same faces on all the boards because everybody with a special interest goes to the board they're interested in, but they are willing to do it. So you find a younger crowd on the boards, not the same olds, new ideas.
I think we're still seeing a lot of those same olds.
Well, they are. They didn't go away, but
right.
there's a lot of new
There's
faces.
some new faces. I'd like to see even more new faces
Well,
because
yeah.
I sit on a lot of boards as well, and I really would love to see some new faces and retaining younger people to stay here. So I think we have 20,000 graduates, from senior classes of college,
Right.
whether it's Delta or Saginaw Valley or even CMU, and you'd like to see more of those
Yeah.
people stay here.
Take a break and be back.
Switch it up and ride into it.
We're back with you, one more segment with Anne-Marie Batkowski Sullivan. I love it. 3 weeks ago, she was just Batkowski. Now she's Sullivan. What took you so long?
And actually, it's funny. It is my first marriage, so I'm 55 years old and the first time being married, and it's
Good for you.
It's a new thing for me here. This is yes, it's very new to me. But yeah,
Well,
thank you.
that reminds me of my son. My older son he's 57, something like that. And he got married late in life, too, and he said, never, never, never. We kept
Yep.
asking, when are you going to get married, Blair? Never, 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 never. So he finally finds a young lady. He dated her for like 7 years.
Yep.
Finally asked her. So at his wedding, it's anybody want to stand up and say anything, I stood up and I said, Blair, you said never, never, never. Welcome to Neverland.
I love that. That's wonderful.
So, and he's happy, and they're a great couple. But
Yeah.
I got married early. Excuse me. Relatively early in life, my young 20s. I never regretted it. My wife, we were married 57 years when she passed. But to each his own,
Yep. It's all in timing, right? You got to
Yeah.
find their partner. So I finally found the one that.
You found the one, That's,
Yep.
that's what counts. That's
Yep.
what counts. So let's discuss, just in the 2 minutes we have left here, the integration of your expertise into Pride with Jeannie. How long are you guys going to share the load, so to speak?
Yeah, so I think Jeannie's going to stick around for at least a couple months. She wants to help me through each event that comes up. So, like I said earlier, with the annual fundraiser next week, and then the parade, the Memorial Day parade, and then the first one or two Friday Night Lives. She wants to get me through those, and then she